Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
A give for Taylor running right side. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it all the way down to the 15. 45 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? And he was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. And that'll be caught by the big tight end Andrews. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Well, this defense for the Colts, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. Gets past one man and out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
I know at the end of games, coaches always tell us that no one play won or lost a game. But this seems pretty important early, doesn't it? Their ability to pick up that first down on 3rd down, I thought that was key.
Well, you're already in the hole after the touchdown on the other side. How will you respond? We talk about that a lot, and they responded pretty well there. You go 3 and out, I think you give up a lot of momentum. You get down 2 scores, could be an entirely different game.
So they've got a nice drive going now. They're in good shape. What's interesting to me is they're also in that spot of the field where you would take a shot. Do you change that up just because you're down a touchdown? I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
And here's Jackson on the option.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Julian Blackman.
And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right?
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor.
An 80-yard touchdown. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Now the try here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they're through the...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point up and through. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a give to Taylor. Muscles him off. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
153 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
They run with Taylor. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
To the right side, this is Taylor
Powering forward. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he'll be taken down at the 18.
Julian Blackman bringing him down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They go play action with Jackson, rolling to his right. First down and more for Jackson, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
Now those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Jackson going to run again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Being chased out left. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick six.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Crawford.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. On second and very short, Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
198 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here's Taylor. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now it's Herbert. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Justin Madubuike, never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Frank Reich not so sure about that last call. He's going to go ahead and throw out the challenge flag. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They force the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
They go play action now. Jackson. Dancing to his left.
And Jackson's so tough to stop. He's got a first down, and he gives himself up there at the end. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
Here's 2nd and 10. Jackson now. He'll get this off to Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Big Christian Barmore was there on the tackle. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Play action. It's Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 31-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Play action. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up.
Hey, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play. But prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline.
Step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
Yeah, he had the yards, but then the mistake. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Now Herbert following the turnover. He's got it to Matthews, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
To throw again on second down. Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Again, Herbert. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations. Because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Jackson sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll run with Dobbins. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able...
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And this will get out of bounds at the 2-yard line. 2nd time he's fumbled in this game. Fortunate for him, this one goes out of bounds.
And the key for him now is how much equity have you built up with your coaching staff? How much equity have you built up with your team to continue to get opportunities? Fortunate that one went out of bounds, saved him from a turnover.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Taylor's got the first down and more. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 230 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Taylor. The tackle there by John Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a give, right side. Taylor. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And shedding through the tackle. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the handoff, this is Taylor. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Herbert. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run on 1st down. Taylor. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run with Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Colts go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points.
point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
From the 30 on second down, Jackson steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Jackson.
That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Rolling to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Jackson.
They'll find Swift out of the backfield.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
On the option to give to Swift here.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. And let's check on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Jackson.
They'll try and set up the screen to Swift.
Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Jackson here is going to look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a two-score game.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, keep away. First downs, they can't touch the ball.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
From the gun, it's Taylor.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down, fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They'll try and run. Taylor.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And his kick is indeed good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
He'll drop this one off to Swift.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. Escapes the defender. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
They'll stay on the ground with Swift.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And his top speed, as computed by Next Gen Stats, not bad. He was pushing 20 miles an hour.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and we're never headed.
So for Indianapolis, they're into the win column for the third time this year as they get the victory here. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers.